Hi there folks, and welcome to part 5 of the Formicid Abyssal Night. My name is Ic0n, and welcome to another funny Let's Play episode, and hopefully we're gonna survive this one as well. Last game I went down for the shoals, almost died in front of the room. Somehow I escaped. With the room, in fact, and everybody dead around me. And me not being dead, that was pretty awesome, so I'm thinking about where to go next now. Spider 2 is filled with a lot of really scary baddies here. Don't know if I want to take them on right now. Let's check our options here. We're sitting in some good resistances. And the never-ending story of missing magic resistance goes on and on. Keeps to be a topic in every single game I record somehow. Alright, so for now I think I want to go for a quick visit of the vaults to start off and see if I can manage down here. And we get greeted by a bunch of skeletal warriors. I'm gonna step back, put up the Great Sword of Holy Wrath and start chopping here. That should make short work of these. Yep, works out pretty fine. And the other two guys I don't need to stare dance with. I can kill them off pretty easily here. This room seems to be filled with more enemies. Gonna take a careful step here. I'm resistant to fire, so this fire giant should be killable. And the fireballs attract the rest of the people here. That was pretty expectable. Fireballs make a lot of noise and tempt enemies to open doors. Alright, but it looks like a little vault which is filled with lots of doors, which makes this whole situation pretty manageable, since I don't get swarmed or surrounded. A lot of shapeshifters in there. Another great sword of flaming. Let's try that out. Nope, not better than mine, so I'm gonna drop it again. Alright. Another orc knight. Nothing too scary here. Just hit level 20. It's pretty good. And feels like I should be able to clear some vaults here. Really gotta be careful though about wizards and stuff that can do very harmful things to me. Yet still, the banishment is not the biggest problem here, and with all my other characters I delve into vaults or elven halls, the banishment is one of the biggest concerns to take. And yeah, that's certainly something I'm happy about here. Okay, too many enemies in an open space, so gonna kite that back around the corner and fight it there. It's way more safer here. Okay, so here we have our first bunch of trolls. They got mited. Not too comfortable with that. The Earth Mage is standing in front of me. There's the Shaman. I really want to bring down the Shaman before he has more chances to buff up his allies. It's already hard enough as it is. There we go. Alright, I'm noticing the deep trolls are no popcorn enemies here for me. I have to take them seriously right now. And on the edge of our line of sight we had an Ironbrand Convoker which summoned some allies. And that's why I want to step back from this situation, to have the upstairs close to me, so I might flee if the need arises. I really don't want to shaft here. My shafting adventures in the first episode were exciting enough, but if I need to I can do it, although I'd prefer to avoid it here. Okay. A Vault Sentinel. Let's check out his marking chances. It's 50%, that's huge. And that's one of the main reasons why I think I can't go deeper into the vaults. And of course we got marked. So I'm a bit of trouble here. Think about cancelling it out, but I've already skipped a lot of this duration of the marking, and I should be able to run away here safely for now. So I'm kiting back to the upstairs. The mark is gone, so the floor enemies don't know my position now that well anymore. And I think I should be fine here, killing off these people. The slime creatures clump together in this hallway, which is a bit uncomfortable, but there goes a Quadra slime. I think I'm gonna banish that. 4 enemies for 1 spell. That's good. Alright. Looks like the sentinels will be a big problem here if I want to go deeper into the vaults. That's why I'm a bit reluctant to go for more than level 1. Yet still I'm hoping that I might be able to pick up some useful stuff down here. That was the idea. If that doesn't work out, I think I'm going to go for Ic0n and hope for some interesting shop options here to cover up some of my weaknesses. Because right now I don't know how to survive the combination of Abyssal, Francis and Ic0n Spider 2. It's certainly one of the hardest unique combinations I've faced down there so far. Really nasty. Considering I have no Arlec for Nicola, considering I have no magic resistance for Abyssal, and yeah, that sums it up to a lot of pain if I go down there. Probably certain death, since I can't blink. Well, no controlled blinks, that is. Random blinking, sure. But random blinking won't save me from these guys. Alright, so this is terrible. This ogre mage is able to paralyze me. And I'm gonna try to banish him. That didn't work out. Let's try to banish this guy. Alright, we got the first ogre mage banished, the second one as well. And now it's only 1 hasted ogre on my heels, and that's something I can take care of. Gonna go back to this upstairs and fight it there. Yeah, I'm certainly not suited for diving deeper into the vaults, but for level 1 it's pretty good. Getting some more XP here. And maybe these dangerous rooms yield some nice loot. Let's check if anything with MR Plus showed up. Nope, no magic resistance in the whole game. What a sad life. Even the Great Orb of Eyes is now dangerous for me. It can paralyze me, and that's really spooking me here. Got confused. How much is my banishing chance? It's only 16%, so I'm gonna hard focus this Orb of Eyes to get rid of it. Paralysis wouldn't have been so dangerous with only 1 ogre standing beside me. But with the rest of these people here, stuff can certainly get ugly. We're sitting at a 16 point value of long blades, which means I should be able to use this greatsword by now. So let's enchant it up. 2+4, still a bit worse than the scimitar, but I'm wearing a Ring of Slaying, so the plus hit should be okay. I'm at 1 turn per swing with the greatsword. That's pretty okay. I mean, the scimitar is way better in terms of speed. Yet still, I think it's good enough to wield it. So there goes the ogre mage. And if they're alone, I'm really fond of fighting them, but not in packs. No. Paralysis can crunch you down if you hit a pack of these. And here we are in a very tight spot. I brought down the Convoker, and I'm now spamming some blink to get out of this corner. Don't want to stand there, don't want to fight it like that. And again, this upstairs door here is getting a pure slaughterhouse. Killed so many enemies in this corner so far. And this Tengu Reaver is giving me a hard time killing him. And I'm gonna switch over to the scimitar. Want to have a faster weapon against the spellcaster. Did I kill him? Or did he just step back? Nope, I got him down. Sometimes these guys just step back where you can't see them anymore if they get too wounded. Wanted to check that out. Alright. Deep elf zombie, huh? Necromancer skeleton. There should be a real necromancer around that somewhere. Ic0n skeleton. So where's the necromancer to these guys? Did I kill him already and derp it? Possible. Absolutely possible. Fire dragon and 3 ugly things. Well, I want to stand here and kill off the dragon before I kite the ugly things back. The dragon could use his breath attack generously on me if I try to kite him a longer distance. That's why I wanted to avoid this. Alright. Looks like we're pretty done here with Waltz 1. Oh boy. First storm dragon approaching. With no Aralek, these are really scary situations. I want to check out magnification. I don't think it provides Aralek, but maybe Beam has something to say about that. Alright. Immobile minus teleport. Torment immunity. Alright. No. Doesn't help me with that. Let's try if I can take him down carefully. Good. His lightning breath didn't do too much damage to me. Yet still, this area could be populated with more dangerous guys. But nope. Actually only a Orc Knight and a Ic0n. It's not too scary actually. Another scroll of magic mapping. I'm starting to stockpile these and I really like to have a pile of magic mapping scrolls. They're really handy tools. Alright, Vaults 1 done. I don't want to mess around here any longer. Gonna go over to the Elven Halls 1 and see if I can grab up some other stuff here. And we hit fighting 17. Some deep elf mages, summoning stuff. Elf 1 should be really no problem, down to Elf 2 also, I think. But with the lack of magic resistance, I don't dare to go Elf 3. I mean, the vanishing is not a problem, but the other spells which hurt, which are proccing against my magic resistance, they are a problem. Alright, another bunch of folks here. So I don't wanna fight this here. I wanna have a corner to hide behind and avoid all the shooting in my face. And again, a Formicid is very, very apt in clearing out Elven Halls properly. That's 2 reasons. Reason 1, a lot of distortion branded flying weapons are usually spawning down here. At least 1 or 2 of these you're seeing in almost every run. Distortion brandings are absolutely no threat for a Formicid in terms of getting teleported around, because we're immune to that. We even can't get any extra damage from that, I think. I'm not too sure about that though. And reason 2 for a Formicid is the permanent ability to dig, which means I can always dig up my escape options as needed. This looks like a trove to me. This tile set's looking trovey. And it needs a Horn of Ic0n. Alright. That would mean I should clear out the entrance to Hell to pick that up, which is certainly possible at some point in the game for me. Yet still, it's some risk. Speaking of risks, Ic0n. He is very dangerous in terms of demon summoning. A Greater Servant of Maklab is some spell you certainly don't want to take easily. So What I'm gonna do is to kite back for now. Keep an eye on the possible upstairs. I think I should be able to take down Ic0n. Yet still, I don't want to be in his line of sight that much. I hope he's getting close. He hasted himself. Can he see invisible? Yeah, he can. Alright, so I'm gonna put up a might potion here. And an agility potion as well. I really want to be buffed up to kill off this guy as quick as possible. There's this executor standing right next beside me, which is hammering in a lot of attacks in rapid succession. That's one thing to be careful about executioners. Let's check them up. Yeah, they're very fast and have a lot of damage. They have the ability to haste on top of being very fast. So executioners are really deadly for characters with low AC. And my AC of 29 is not superb, in fact. It's just pretty okay-ish. Taking a lot of damage here from those lightning bolts. Stood in a bad corner there. Reminds me of blunders on another character. Last playlist, we had some very scary lightning moments as well. Everything went out fine this time. But somehow I tend to derp out on lightning bolts. I don't know why that is. I do know how to stand and how to position against these, yet still it happens a lot to me that I keep standing on double zap positions and realizing it too late. That's a really bad play from me. But everybody does mistakes. Never forget that. Mistakes are part of the game. Unless you're a machine. And even machines do make mistakes. Alright, enough of that. Let's focus on these elves here. So far, there is no real threat apart from my own stupidity and Asterians. Another scroll of enchant weapon, really nice to have that. Our greatsword is slowly getting to a usable point. A deep elf demonologist. Yikes. I want to step over and slash him down as quickly as possible before he summons something really scary. Demonologists can spam up really, really dangerous demons. Tormentors and I think sometimes even fiends, but I'm not too sure about that. Yet still, they are able to summon sources of torment, and that can really mess your day up down here in the Elven Halls. But everything went fine. We focused him right. Didn't summon anything too scary. I really need to be careful about situations like these, because with other characters you just will go into a teleport scroll if anything too scary shows up, and you're gonna teleport away and take the fight another day. That's one option I will not be able to take on as a Formicid. The best thing I can take here is a uncontrolled blink from Ic0n, and that's only short range. If I'm unlucky, it only makes my situation even worse. Okay. Sadly, it looks like Elven Halls 1 didn't provide any resources here for us. I hit level 21. I'm actually focusing into some more dexterity now. I really want to bring up some evasion rating here. It's very important if you're deciding to stick to long blades to have some evasion rating for the riposte triggers. It's a shame to have a weaponry and don't use its unique quirks. I'm gonna stick my head into Elf 1 into Elf 2 since Elf 1 is done. Feel like I can safely take this. Okay, because even getting surrounded by these guys doesn't bring me into much trouble here. The only thing I gotta be careful about are stronger elves showing up here around. This mage just didn't want to die. Now he's dead though. Some good blink plays from him though. Didn't save him in the end. Another scroll of enchant weapons, so 2 of them actually. Slowly this Elven Halls run starts to pay off. 3 points of enchantment for our new primary weapon. That's certainly something which will bring me ahead. Okay, we found the Hall of Flying Blades. Or Hall of Blades, I think it's just called. And maybe I want to take it on this time. Because normally I skip this out because of the threat of distortion branded flying weapons. Since this is not an issue for our character here, I might try that out. There's a Deep Elf Sorcerer. We brought him down pretty decently. And let's check out this armor shop. They've got some useful cloak down here, which I certainly want to pick up, I think. Let's mark it for now for the shopping list. The rest of these are not too useful though. I'm not gonna buy this cloak yet, or no, I've redecided I want to have it. Because having the poison resistance on the cloak opens up the possibility to wear this unique plate armor again. And this means we have our leg up. This certainly saves me from my own stupidity somewhat. To be at least resistant against the stuff. Alright. Some annoying archers. I'm really tempted to banish these guys because they just annoy me that much. Maybe I'm gonna do that just because. Just to show them who's boss here. Alright, another mage summoning a lot of earth elementals, blinking all around the place. Doesn't help him against me though. Alright. This archer at least had the decency to not blink around like a madman, so I didn't have to banish him. A triple sword of pain. Well, hello there, my beauty. Alright. That's something I really want to pick up. This is kind of like another upgrade. And since I'm still having a scroll of brand weapon lying around, I even can make this worthwhile. So let's try that. I'm really curious if I can brand that into something useful. And let's leave this place before I get tempted to enter the Hall of Blades and something stupid happens to me. I'm really scared of this area, because there's not only strong flying weapons in there, there's also strong elves inside this area. There's always some higher tier elf spawning, some Blade Master at least. And that can quickly go wrong. Alright, let's brand this and cross our fingers and hope this turns out into something useful. Triple Sword of Slicing is certainly not the worst thing to show up here. Alright, next stop gonna be Depths. Still not too fond of going Spider. Although I have resist electricity now. I've killed Ic0n and showed myself I can deal with a guy summoning demons. And Ic0n should be doable. Well, maybe after that's one. Let's see how dangerous this area will be for us. Alright, I swapped over to the Greatsword of Flaming now permanently, because it doesn't drain my resistances, which is certainly something I enjoy. Because as nice this scimitar was, it also had a major drawback. An unidentified scroll of Holy Word. Here we meet a wizard. 17% chance of doing bad stuff to us, that's okay. Can deal with that. They die pretty quickly. And as long as they're alone, I don't take them too much of a threat here. They're only alone a threat if you're playing a super frail race and have to take care of the possibility of crystal spearing. Alright. Bunch of ogres And I'm gonna sit here and fight it like that, in a nice and comfortable corner. Where the worst thing that can happen would be this ogre mage paralyzing me while he's only himself standing in front of me and bashing me somewhat. That's not too scary. But being surrounded from ogres while getting paralyzed, that's for sure very scary. Alright. Overall, I always feel like the Formicid drawbacks are pretty fair. And this makes me pause a bit. We have a Lich in front of us with the ability to summon greater demons. Iron shots, bolts of fire. 32% of confusion. Alright. What am I gonna do here? I think I'm gonna dig here and do it like that. Switch over to the Holy Wrath Greatsword. Oh, no, actually not. Let's kill the Frost Giant first. And in this spot, the Lich has no option of summoning demons, because he only can summon stuff as long as he's seeing us. And this way, this fight went perfectly safe for me. That's what I wanted to see. Alright, another scroll of ancient armor, and I'm strongly pumping up my large shield here. I'm gonna cry heavy tears as soon as a better large shield shows up. Yet still I really enjoy having as much shield rating as possible, because that really provides a lot of safety. Alright, first Iron Troll in front of us, and we're really having a hard time killing him off. I'm really surprised that this goes that badly. I see what's happening there. There's a Rakshasa behind them. That's why it's so hard. Rakshasa copies have, in my opinion, some better defensive traits than the originals. And right here, I'm really feeling like I'm in a lot of trouble. I've already taken a lot of damage. And I don't know if it's really safe to fight this like that. Alright, we have the option to banish somebody. Gotta think about that if something too strong gets into my face again. Yeah. Certainly the problem here was the Rakshasa copying the enemies and bringing me into fight with something that's certainly stronger than the original. Gotta check it out. I never looked it up, but I strongly feel like the copies have better evasion ratings than the originals. Not too sure about that. Gonna look it up until the next episode. Alright, Quicksilver Dragon Scales. Interesting, but nothing I want to wear. I'm pretty happy with this plate armor so far, yet still I feel like I could use an upgrade, but this Quicksilver Dragon Scales, they wouldn't be an upgrade. Neither these Ice Dragon Scales would be an upgrade. Alright, another Stone Giant. Another Stone Giant. Lots of Stone Giants on this level so far. I mean, I have a good shield rating, yet still I don't want to give them too many free shots in my face. It's only fun if you're wearing some reflection gear and you're able to get this guy into a situation where he starts smacking himself with these rocks. That's fun. Getting smacked by his rocks, that's no fun. New ring, and it's finally the protection from magic ring I was waiting for all this time. Alright, let's check. How's this? This is really bad. Problem is that I have this slaying ring going on. I really don't want to put it down, actually. Yet still, while I'm wearing it, my resistances are really bad if I want to pick up this magic resistance ring as well. It's a bit sad having 4 arms and still only being able to wear 2 rings, but that's the life in Formicid. Would be certainly OP to have the option to wear more rings and not being an octopode. But somehow I feel like Formicids should be able to wear at least 2 pairs of gloves, since we have 4 hands. But obviously the crawl devs said no to this idea. I'm pretty certain they had this idea as well. Alright. This Ogre Mage. Well, since I can't run away from this situation, I wanna bring up the magic resistance ring here to reduce his paralysis chances by a lot. I lost a character to this once, because I didn't respect the paralysis of the Ogre Mages correctly. And then I got surrounded and smacked down, like the dumb nut I was in this situation. Alright, that's one done. And I feel like I'm ready now to go over to the spider nest and do some spider bashing here. Even the uniques should be doable by now. I have every single resistance needed to take these guys down. And that's the point where I'm gonna try. If I can kill these guys. Another orb spider. They're pretty easy to take down if you're having a shield at your disposal. Alright, Entropy Weaver around the corner. Pretty obnoxious. I'm gonna get corroded hard if I stay here. So, I'm gonna dance upstairs again. And repeat. Alright, I took this bad boy back up. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. To bring him down separated from the rest of the guys. Because this corrosion can really mess you up hard if it stacks up somewhat. And here we are. Surrounded by a bunch of jumping spiders. Don't feel too comfortable in this corner, so I'm gonna dig my own fighting corner here. Feels a lot safer. Alright. Let's see if we can bring down this floor for good. I mean, this floor was, generally speaking, the reason why I almost died down there in the shoals, because I had to take shoals way too early for my taste. I mean, everything went out fine, but it was damn close. Alright, hello Francis. This is certainly not the kind of situation where I did want to meet Francis. So, you want to dig out here, dig a corner here, and start fighting. This Emperor Scorpion is scary, so I'm gonna might into this. I really want to end this fight as quickly as I can. Don't want to risk the Emperor Scorpion wearing me down too hard before Francis shows up. Yeah, worked out. Gotta be careful now though, I'm only having one more might potion. And somehow I want to keep them available here. Alright, more Emperor Scorpions. Certainly a lot of Emperor Scorpion for Spider 2. And it actually makes me pretty happy that I skipped out on this the first time I went down here. Oh, hello Nicola. That's a very, very bad spot to take on Nicola, because of the possibility of getting double zapped here. And yet still I don't see too many better options to fight this, because if I stand in that hallway he will be able to do even more pain to me. And somehow we got him down. It's only Ic0n left for this level. Yet still Ic0n is not to be taken lightly around here. This baddie can put you into sleep, and it's similar to getting paralyzed. Being immobilized while in an area which is swarming with a lot of baddies which can surround you is always kind of a problem. So let's check if we can manage this situation properly. Certainly would be very happy to pick up my next rune here. So. Alright, there's Ic0n with 33% of sleeping me. I don't want to see that happen, so I'm going to put down the slaying here. Reduce the sleeping chance to 9%. That's something I'm okay with. And I need to dig further here, like that. Alright, Ic0n time. Can I banish this dude? Not really too well. Alright. In fact, just as I've thought, Ic0n was kinda like the most dangerous of the three uniques down here. At least he brought me very low. This whole fight really did a lot of damage to me. I think the respect from for this floor was very life-saving. A torpor snail. Ugh. So this floor certainly tries to kill me as hard as it can. Torpor snails slow you while they're in line of sight with you. No, not actually in line of sight. It's enough when they're on your screen. They exude this slowness aura, and due to the fact that all enemies down here tend to be fast, it's a very obnoxious combination. It's really hard to fall back without taking too much damage. Yet still, we've conquered Spider 2. Time to go down to Spider 3. And another enchant weapon in my pack lying around. Degeneration potion. No, thank you. Don't need that. I feel like I won't go for further enchanting of my greatsword. I more feel like starting to enchant this triple sword. Hello, Louise. It's always nice to see a fellow Abyssal Knight here. Yet still, I'm sorry to tell you that I'm way more badass than you, Louise. Even though I got to admit, copying my style while by wielding also a large shield certainly impressed me. Enough of that story. Normally, Louise is pretty dangerous if you're not resistant to banishing, but if you're an Abyssal Knight all by yourself, well, she can banish you, then I go out of there. That's the end of the story. Then I'm gonna whack her more. Alright. There's a lot of uniques down here in the spider nest though. And a ghost moth. They're every spellcaster's nightmare. Luckily I'm no spellcaster. Alright. Spark Wasp, 3 Tarantellas, and a Demonic Crawler. Sounds like a situation for another hidey hole here. And being a Formicid down here feels pretty good, because there are so few natural corners to fight well in down here. It's very, very nice to be able to make your own corners without investing anything but a bit of hunger. Alright. Looks like we're pretty much speed clearing here through the spider nest. And I think I'm gonna try to pick up my second rune here. Should be perfectly doable. And for the third rune, I'm somewhat tempted to pick up the rune in the Abyss. Yet still, there's one downside of taking the Abyss as a Formicid. With every other character, I really go to the Abyss with a bunch of teleportation scrolls in my pockets, telling myself, well, if anything too bad happens, I'm gonna teleport around there. Well, you can imagine where's the problem right here. But I think it should be pretty doable still, since I can leave the Abyss at my will. And my teleportation scroll would be, in fact, leaving the Abyss. So, should be an option. Since you find the Abyssal Rune of Zod earlier, when you're a worshipper of Lugonu, your goddess helps you. She really likes you to be her avatar and conqueror of Zod and stuff. I really feel like when you're playing a Abyssal Knight, you shouldn't take the orb into the outside of the dungeon, but instead into the Abyss. That would feel a lot more scenic for me. Yet still, this exit should be at Dungeon 1, 2. Everything else would be broken. Yet still, that would be fun. Delivering the orb to your goddess. And plunging the whole world into a big fat Cataclysm. I think that can't do good stuff if you bring one of the most powerful artifacts in the fantasy world to a badass evil Abyss goddess. Alright, enough of that rambling. We're hitting Spider 4. That's time to pop in a scroll of magic mapping, and it's this layout. This layout has one very good advantage. Almost everything down here has no hands. It means they can't open doors. As long as I don't open these doors, the final wall should be not breaking open. That's something I really like about this layout. The downside on this will be, as soon as I open the door, it will be hell unleashed. Everything has at least two sides, huh? Alright. So let's clear up the rest of the floor first. Yeah, I'm sensing monsters. It's pretty obvious as I'm close to that vault. Alright. More spiders coming in, creating this hidey hole. And everything's alright. Pretty surprised how easy Spider Nest feels here. Played it with a lot of other shield-wielding characters, and they tended to have a lot more problems with the situations of jumping spiders, webbing me, and being surrounded by a bunch of hard-hitting spiders. Because when you get webbed, you lose your shield deflection bonus. And if you're surrounded in this kind of situation, you suddenly will take brutal amounts of damage, while everything was just fine the whole time ago. Alright, gonna banish this orb spider. Oh no, it's a lucky orb spider. It resisted with a 20% chance here. It's pretty impressive. Alright. And we have Mara here sitting around. That's bad. I'm also a bit corroded here. But still, I feel like taking on Mara in this corner could be a very safe way to deal with him. Because I'm sitting on enough fire resistance to be able to ignore most of his spells. And I think he shouldn't be putting up copies of enemies as long as I'm not in his line of sight. Yep, worked out. He didn't put up too many clones. Didn't clone anything actually. Alright, I'm always a bit spooked of Mara because he's one of the most tricky and devious bosses to run into. In my opinion, that is. Because of the ability to clone himself, blink, and clone you as a player. It's certainly a kit of options that can bring situations to a very, very bad spot for you as a player. Alright, we're almost done here with this area. And look at all these enemies swarming around in this inside area here. It's gonna be such a pandemonium as soon as I open these doors. Really gotta be careful, and I need to prepare the area around me to have some fighting spots as soon as I open this door, because it's gonna be pretty hard to run away from this. I think I want to go for something like that. So this way I have some escape route towards a upstairs. And let's get rid of the exclusions and open this door and meet Ic0n. She's featuring a lot of poison damage. Well, I'm gonna might into this. I really want to have a might potion against Ic0n. The thing about Ic0n is resistance from poison is simply not enough for her. She will poison you hard. She can even lethally poison you through all the poison resistance you can stack up. That's mainly because she's also wearing a Staff of Venom alongside with a lot of dangerous poisonous spells. So I think facing this army, that's a good point to drop in a potion of might, since there's a lot of baddies I have to take down here as well. Alright. Orb spider swooping around here. I think I'm gonna banish this one. I don't want to leave this area and hunt an orb spider while leaving this corridor open for a swarm of enemies pouring through it and ruining all my safety here around this corner. That's a banishment well worth doing so. Alright. So, looks like we're punching through this army with ease. Yeah. We did it here. Yet still, this vault is not far from being empty. There's for sure a lot of baddies in here. Expect some more ghost moths and maybe one or two more entropy weavers in there. Maybe also some emperor scorpions, so don't think this area is safe to take here yet. Oh, spark wasp. That's something I didn't expect. Alright, bringing down the moth. And I'm almost done here, and it's the point where I really want to be a bit more careful to not stumble into some whoopsie death. That would be really sad for all this success. Looks like I took down a lot of the enemies here still. Up front. Also the Emperor Scorpions are getting easier and easier as my Longblade skill increases more and more. This greatsword starts to pay off. And it looks like we're close to grabbing our second rune here. I'm at 0.8 swings per turn with my greatsword. It's a very good spot here. Yet still this Emperor Scorpion did a lot of damage to me. It's one issue about shields. Shields are some piece of all or nothing gear in terms of either you block and negate the damage completely, or you get hit and take the damage. So it feels with shields a lot like you're pretty invulnerable until somebody gets in 3 or 4 swings into you in rapid succession, and suddenly you realize how much damage you still take when you get hit. I really tend to forget that because I stop getting hit that often as soon as I have a shield up. Alright, enough shield philosophy. We're done with Spider 4. That's our second rune in the pocket. Very excited here that everything went out so fine. Not even a clutch situation like in the Schultz happened in this episode, which means I played it really safely. I think I'm gonna go for either some more vaults or depths on the next episode. I'm a bit tempted to go to Elf 3, since I feel like I'm able to take that down pretty safely. Yet still I want to have some more experience levels before I go for this adventure. So the next step gonna be walking towards the vaults and starting to say goodbye for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this play as much as I did. It was a very, very fun episode to play. And if you liked this whole episode, I would be really happy if you leave me a thumbs up or a comment or something like that. Always makes me very happy to see some feedback on my Let's Play videos. Anyways, have a good time guys, and see you soon again on the next episode here. Bye bye!